Alright, hello everyone. I just wanted to do a quick video showing all of my Kiss vinyls. And I've got 24 total. And most of these are the 2014 reissues. There's just a few that's not. And, I'll mention, where I've got each one of them from as I go through them. So, first one up here, we got Kiss's debut album, self-titled. You can see there it has the 180 gram audiophile vinyl. This is the standard sticker that come on all the 2014 reissues. And, this thing is basically got, their greatest hits on it. And, the only song that you really skip is the love theme from Kiss because it's an instrumental. But otherwise, every song on here you can play front to back. And, I think it's probably my second favorite studio album of Kiss. It's just phenomenal. And, I listen to it quite often today. Let's put that up. Second album up, Hotter Than Hell. Great artwork on this release. I just really love the whole concept of the Japanese style cover. And, as far as the album goes, this thing got quite a bit of criticism back in the day because of the production of it. And, as far as today, when you go back and listen to the record, I just think it's phenomenal. Again, it's almost like a greatest hits for me. I think I like all 10 songs, and I can play them front to back. So, if I had to pick a favorite song, I really couldn't. Mainline I really like a lot. But Watching You, Strange Ways, oh gosh, Going Blind, Parasite, too many to choose from. But it's a great Kiss album, and I love it. And like I said, the artwork's phenomenal. Next up, we've got Dressed to Kill. This album was criticized too because it was so short. I think it's probably the shortest Kiss album that they've ever released as far as a studio release. But again, I can listen to this whole entire album front to back. That's one reason that Kiss records are so popular, especially these from the 70s, is that you can listen to them from front to back. And, it's just, there's no skips, This album, Two-Timer, Rock Bottom, Come On and Love Me, Anything for My Baby, She, I really fell in love with that song. I think it's underrated. But, man, now the cover art on this, it's just okay. Them in tuxedos, they did much better artwork. And coming up next is what is considered by many Kiss fans as the greatest Kiss album ever made. I'd have a hard time disputing that. The live versions on here are better than the studio versions. This is the album that broke Kiss. Look at that artwork. It's just phenomenal. Again, this is just the quintessential release to have of Kiss. Would I rate it my favorite Kiss album of all time? It's right up there with the initial debut album and my favorite. But gosh, it's kind of hard to compare studio to live, but this album you got to pretty much say is the greatest Kiss album of all time. You just got to say it. And up next we have Destroyer, another album that was criticized back in the day because it was too far removed from what their original sound was. They got a new producer, made it really slick. And what do I think of Destroyer now these days? Well, the previous 3 albums I like better than Destroyer. And I like the next 2 albums better than Destroyer. Not to say this isn't a phenomenal album. Shout It Out Loud is a signature Kiss song. It's got some other great tracks on here. Detroit Rock City. I like King of the Nighttime World. Flaming Youth. I'm not a fan of God of Thunder, the Gene Simmons version. I like the demo from Paul personally. That's just me. I don't know if anybody else feels that way or not. Up next is Kiss Destroyer, but this one is the resurrected version. This is the newly mixed EP, and I do think this sounds better than the original release, and the artwork's much better. I just think it's phenomenal. I think this was the original artwork they wanted to use, but it got banned for whatever reason, because it's too violent or something. But I think this sounds amazing, and I didn't see any need to buy the 45th anniversary edition. I can't see it getting any better than this release. There's a nice booklet in here and everything, so that's a must-own for sure. I mean, all these are. Then we've got Rock and Roll Over. Oh gosh, I love this record. Look at this artwork. You got to say that it's probably the greatest Kiss artwork for an album ever. And as far as the tracks go, you can play all 10 of them all the way through. Love Them and Leave Them, See You in My Dreams, Take Me, I Want You, Calling Dr. Luck, Mr. Speed. I don't know how many times I got that stuck in my head. But, you know, it's right up there in the top 5 greatest Kiss albums of all time, in my opinion. Just phenomenal. And the artwork, again, is just out of this world. Up next, this is not the 2014 repressing. This is my original that my sister owned back in the day. It's even got some nice ring wear on it. It's been played, and I think the booklet went missing, so, you know, this is just a placeholder in my collection. I never did get this. I could have got it for 46 bucks from Amazon. I didn't at the time. Most of these I got from Amazon like more than 3 years ago, so I got them at a good price. You know, so, but anyway, I don't know if I'll ever get the 2014 of Kiss Alive 2. Now, this is a phenomenal live album. It's not the caliber of their first live album, but it's right up there. And I love the studio tracks that they added on to the end of this. Rocket Ride, that's just probably my favorite on there. All American Man. So, you know, great Kiss album. Then we've got Love Gun. I know this is a lot of people's favorites. Right up there. And the artwork on this, again, I think it's great. It's iconic. It looks kind of unfinished, you know, when you really look at it close. I don't know if the artist ran out of time or if it was intended to be like that. But as far as the album goes, this is, again, one you can almost play all the way through. I'm not a fan of Hooligan at all. I do not like that track. But I Stole Your Love, oh gosh, phenomenal. Then She Kissed Me is kind of like, oh, you really covered that? Shock Me's awesome. Christine 16, Tomorrow and Tonight. I like it. That's just a follow-up to, you know, the Rock and Roll All Night. But phenomenal album. Got Love for Sale and Love Gun. Again, it's a phenomenal album. And if it's your favorite, I don't blame you. It's amazing. Then we're going to get into the solo albums. First one up is Ace Frehley. Of course, it's the best one of the solo albums. Rip It Out, Speeding Back, Snowblind, New York Groove. This is an amazing album front to back. It's the one solo album to own. I love Ace. I love his guitar playing. You know, it's a phenomenal record. Must own, of course, as most Kiss records are. And we're going to keep going into the solo here. Paul Stanley up next. This one's great too. It's right behind Ace's album. Tonight You Belong to Me, Move On. It's All Right. I love that song. I think it's great. I really do think Paul did a great job on it. I think it could have been a little bit better, but so what? And, you know, they did a phenomenal job releasing these back in the day, too. Gene Simmons, I'm not sure why I bought this. I guess because I had Ace and Peters, but, you know, Radioactive, Burning Up with Fever. There's some decent songs on here. It's just not phenomenal for me. And I don't have Peter Criss, so, okay, kill me. Going on, we're going into Dynasty. Kiss's take on disco, and I like it. Charisma, Dirty Living is phenomenal. Hard Times, I like the demo. I Was Made for Loving You, Magic Touch, Save Your Love, Sure Know Something. I can listen to all these. 2000 Man, X-Ray Eyes, front to back. It's awesome. And a lot of people really criticize this album, and I love the artwork. Look at those faces, man. I mean, it's just great, great. I love Dynasty. I mean, for people that don't like Dynasty and say that it's that Kiss went soft, I disagree. I just think they were rolling with the times, and I love the record. Now, Unmask, kind of strange release. Different kind of artwork with this thing, and but what matters is the music. And it's not one of my top Kiss records, but I still enjoy it. Naked City, She's So European, Two Sides of the Coin. I mean, it's got some good songs on it. Don't get me wrong. It's just not up to the level, I think, of Dynasty. You could tell Kiss was kind of, breaking up at this point with Ace doing other things and even Peter. So it's a good album. It's just not one of their very best. I do like it, though, of course. Now, here's my favorite Kiss album of all time, Creatures of the Night, other than the live album. But this is the best studio album. And, I've switched back and forth between this one and the debut album as my favorite. But I can listen to this front to back as well. But I Love It Loud is my favorite Kiss song of all time. And I Still Love You is their best ballad, in my opinion. Keep Me Coming, what an awesome rockin' track. War Machine, how can you go wrong with War Machine? I mean, this album kills it, and it's kind of like I've called it their Black and Black. Even though it didn't have a comeback thing like Black and Black, the way it's put together and just the whole way it rocks and the flow of it, I just think it's their Back in Black. And they were really crappy, Dynasty. I like it, but it's not the rocking Kiss that we were used to. So to get Creatures of the Night, I just think it's an amazing album, and it's my number one. Now, I don't have Killers, but I really on vinyl, but I really do love that album. I love the individual tracks that they had on there. I think they're all great. I think it was a phenomenal record, and I wish I had it in my collection, but I don't. So anyway, we're going to go on to Lick It Up. The best non-makeup album ever done by Kiss. Vinnie Vincent, which I think he's phenomenal. He's a little bit out there in terms of mental state, but this is a rocking album, and All Hell's Breaking Loose is one of my favorite Kiss songs of all time. A Million to one of Paul's best vocals he's ever done. Lick It Up, and people knock that. I love it. Not for the Innocent. Now, that's one of my favorite Gene tracks. Just love that. And Underestimated track here, and On the Eighth Day. Oh, gosh, that thing's so awesome. Love Lick It Up. And, this was huge. I mean, whenever they unmasked and came on MTV, I watched all of that. Man, I just love Lick It Up. I mean, it just brings back so many memories. So many great, great memories. And they followed up Lick It Up with Animalize. And, it's about a half and half album for me. I think the first side is just amazing. Second side, not so much. Into the Fire's great. Heaven's on Fire is classic Kiss. I rate that in the top 10 of their all-time tracks. And I love Lonely as a Hunter. People can knock that all day long. It's an amazing track. I love it. And then, of course, Thrills in the Night's about the only one that I would listen to on this side. The other three are skips. But I think this should have been the front cover. And, you could have put that on the back. So, my opinion. I'm going to keep moving forward with Asylum. I think Kiss really stepped it up for this album over Animalize. And this is one of those where I can listen to all 10 tracks all the way through. This is your classic 80s hard rock. I mean, Kiss, this is what 80s rock sounded like then. You know, people say, oh, it don't sound like the old Kiss. Well, it wasn't supposed to. It's 80s Kiss, and it's amazing. And there's not a track on here that I don't like. Any way you slice it is one of my favorite Kiss tracks of all time. I think it's just phenomenal. Tears Are Falling and Secretly Cruel, underrated track. It's amazing. All Night, great rocking track. Radar for Love, that's another underestimated track. I can't say enough about this album. I mean, this is just probably my second favorite non-makeup, even better than Revenge, I think. Just my opinion. And now here's one that everybody likes to criticize. Crazy Nights. And again, Kiss was moving towards a more hard rock pop type of feel. And that's where music was headed at this time, you know, with Def Leppard doing the pop thing, and, you know, Warrant and these bands coming out with pop songs. But I mean, I love this album. People say it's their worst album. I disagree. The title track I love. Hell or High Water is amazing. That's one of my favorite tracks. My Way, great ballad. Reason to Live, another great ballad. Turn on the Night. I think it's a phenomenal record. And I know Gene didn't have a lot to do with it, and I know Paul did most of it. But that's okay with me. I thought it was a phenomenal album. But that could just be my 80s guy coming out. Hot in the Shade. Now, this is not the 2014 reissue. This is the 30th anniversary colored vinyl. It's on blue vinyl. And Hot in the Shade, to me, is awesome. I mean, Rise to It, one of my favorite tracks. Betrayed. Silver Spoon. Oh, gosh, yes. One of my favorite tracks of all time. There's some Boomerang, Little Caesar, a lot of deep tracks on here. There was a couple of outtakes from this that are really great too that I felt should have made the record. But I love Hot in the Shade. I'm not big on this artwork. I think it's kind of stupid. Would have rather just had them on the cover. Put that Egyptian thing on the back and make this a whole lot bigger. And, you know, that's just my kind of thing. I like to see the band on the front. Up next, we've got Revenge. Now, this record is pretty hard to find these days and going for, I don't know, $70 probably. But I love Revenge and Unholy. God Gave Rock and Roll to You. Thou Shalt Not. Man, Gene come back for this album, and you can tell he's got a lot more influence on it. It's more harder. Just an amazing Kiss album. But, you know, I mean, great comeback album for them, considering people thought they were down after Hot in the Shade, but I disagree. Then we've got Kiss Alive 3. This is still sealed. I haven't opened it yet. I got lucky and found this at bestbuy.com for $30, and I had a $25 coupon. But again, not as good as Alive 1 or 2, but still a good album. And you know, I'm looking forward to listening to it on vinyl. And up next, we've got Monster. Of course, this isn't a 2014 reissue. This is just the release of it as it come out in 2012, I think. But you know, people knock this, of course, because of the two. I don't know what people call them, but it's new Kiss, current Kiss. Tommy Thayer, Eric Singer. But you know what? Hell or Hallelujah, Wall of Sound, Freak, Back to the Stone Age. I like them all. I like this album. I think it's great. Out of This World, I think that, I guess Tommy sings on that as the main. I like the album. I think it rocks. Of course, I don't have Sonic Boom, and I don't have Psycho Circus, but, you know, maybe one day I'll get Psycho Circus, but, you know, as far as getting Sonic Boom, we all know the story of that. You can't get it. And then my final one is one I picked up at Walmart. It's the Best of Kiss, the red with yellow splatter vinyl. I got this at Walmart for $23.97. They'd put a wrong sticker on it when it came out. And it was some band I never recognized, and not my fault. I mean, they put the sticker on it. I just took it up and got it rung up, and it rang up $23.97. It was supposed to be like 30 something. I don't know what they did, but you know, I didn't do anything wrong. I just picked up the record, took it up front, and bought it. But anyway, it's a good record for the best of, I guess. I like having the colored vinyl. I think it's nice. I didn't get the other colored vinyls that Walmart came out with, Love Gun and Destroyer. I just didn't really see the need to get those because I'm happy with the versions that I have in the black vinyl of those. So, you know, as far as buying new Kiss records, the only thing I really want is Kiss Alive 2 and Killers, and I may get Psycho Circus just to get it. But anyway, that's my Kiss vinyl collection. Pretty long video, over 20 minutes. Just wanted to show it and get this video posted. So I'm going to get off here for now. So until my next video, I'll be back.